Nature is magnificent. Nature is benevolent. Nature is sustenance. But alas, at times nature also brings devastation. Uttarakhand, besides being famous for its unparalleled beauty and sylvan surroundings, is also home to the holy Char Dham and Hemkund Sahib. The state attracts thousands of pilgrims, mountaineers and nature lovers during the months of May and June every year. 2013 was no different. But what the pilgrims and tourists experienced was the rage of angels. The Ides of June brought heavy and unprecedented rainfall, flash floods and cloudbursts. The upper reaches of Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri, Pithoragarh and Kumaon witnessed colossal loss of human lives and infrastructure. Thousands of pilgrims and tourists were left stranded at a number of places, rendered inaccessible by the fury of nature. The crumbling mountains, the angry rivers and the rain gods created a disaster unheard of in centuries. Anyone and anything that came in the way was crushed and washed away. The pilgrims and tourists caught in this tragedy started losing hope, as no escape seemed possible out of their plight. There were dead bodies lying everywhere, and injured people sitting shelterless without food and water started losing all hopes of survival. ITBP, which has a sizable presence in Uttarakhand, immediately swung into action and rushed to various locations and worked round the clock, true to its motto with Shaurya, Dridhta and Karmanishta, and gave people hope of being rescued amidst their despondency. Surmounting all obstacles and challenges, ITBP Jawans rescued thousands of stranded pilgrims and provided much-needed assurance to those waiting to be rescued.
यहाँ की सिचुएशन जो है बहुत खराब है सर। चारों तरफ पानी पानी और कीचड़ ही कीचड़ फैला हुआ है सर। उसके अंदर लाशें तैरती, डेड बॉडीज तैरती हुई नजर आ रही हैं सर। और जो लोग बचे हुए हैं सर वो बुरी तरह से घायल। हमारा सर टेंट बह गया है, हमारा खाने पीने का सामान भी सर बह गया है सारा सर। आप सरकार को ऐसा बनाए रखें। हमारे सर जो साथी बचे हुए हैं वो पूरे जी जान के साथ बचाव कार्यों में लगे हुए हैं सर। जब तक हमारे अंदर जान है सर हम पूरे जोश के साथ बचाव कार्यों में लगे रहेंगे सर। ओवर सर।
One can imagine the condition of the road from this video of Dharali, wherein the road is filled with mud up to 2 to 3 feet. The constant rain in Uttarakhand created more havoc. The small rivers swelled and grew wild. There were heavy losses to the local villages all around the hilly region. The cars and the buses were stuck in mud. It was not possible to move backward or forward. The occupants of the vehicle had to abandon their vehicle on the way.
तारीख को काफ़ी तेज बारिश, सुबह से ही बहुत तेज बारिश चल रहा था। मंदिर समिति के द्वारा वो पुलिस की तरह चेतावनी दी जा रही थी कि आप लोग जो है कोशिश करें कि नीचे को जाने की।
Coming to the rescue of people in disasters is just one of the life-endangering activities ITBP personnel do fearlessly.
उत्तराखंड में हमारी जो आईटीबीपी है वो फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर है, तो उनके पास 3 सेंटर हैं, आरआरसी जो उनको कहते हैं। 3 हैं, एक गोचर में है, एक मातली में, एक पिथौरागढ़ में है। तीन सेंटर हैं जहाँ पे 31 तरह के सामान जो है वो स्टोर करके रखा जाता है, जो इवैक्यूएशन में काम आए, और इंक्लूडिंग डीजल और जो भी चीज़ ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है। तीनों सेंटर्स ने जैसे ही ये हुआ तो वो एक्शन में आ गए और उन्होंने फौरन रिस्पॉन्ड किया जहां तक वो रिस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हैं.
As roads and bridges were washed away at many places and disaster sites were inaccessible, ITBP teams made foot tracks, repaired damaged roads, and made temporary tracks and bridges using their skills and available local resources like electric poles, tree trunks, ropes, etc., and extricated people who were stuck in places rendered inaccessible by the fury of nature. They also made helipads on hilltops and thus paved the way for evacuation of stranded people by air. The water level rose, making it more difficult to continue the rescue operations. But the Himveers, as ITBP personnel are called, because of their constant deployment in snow-clad Himalayas, bridged the gaps created by angry nature. This is the place on the top of mighty mountains where the shrine of Kedarnath stands. Cruelty of nature ruined the shrine in a single stroke.
छः सात हज़ार के आसपास लोग थे और उनको हमने वहाँ सुरक्षित जगह रखा और उसके बाद में हमने उनको जो बूढ़े थे जो ज़्यादा परेशान थे उनको पहले हमने भेजा.
The first bridge in the rescue operation was built using a trunk of a tree. It showed the rays of hope to the people who were eagerly waiting for some divine phenomenon to help them to cross the river to reach home to safety.
Many congratulations to the remarkable work that your team is doing in very difficult circumstances. Our salams to all of them and the work they're doing. You know, what is the biggest challenge that you are facing at the moment?
The biggest challenge at the moment is to save as many lives as we can, to rescue as many people as we can. Initially we were hampered because of the affected road connectivity. A number of bridges had been washed away. Road has gone away at a number of places, and Kedarnath and Gaurikund were not accessible at all except through helicopters.
The ITBP Jawans were equipped to defy the most difficult challenges of nature, and they rescued the people who lost everything in the natural disaster. Because of heavy rain, the surface became very soft and slippery, and taking each step was dangerous, as earth might give way at any time. So, one had to walk very carefully, as it was difficult to find stable place to keep their feet. From this visual, one can imagine the current of a hilly river during a cloudburst. ITBP Jawans are always ready to tackle such challenges. Once the rope is set, they will try to place local resources or whatever was available to create a safe passage for the people using well-tested and proven techniques. This family from Punjab was on their way back home, but while coming down from Hemkund Sahib, they were stuck. The old woman in her 70s had to go through such ordeal, suffering all the way. ITBP Jawans extended a helping hand to those who needed it the most.
बद्रीनाथ में भी कल शाम तक हमें उम्मीद है फुट ब्रिज बना के और रास्ता बना लेंगे जिससे लोग पैदल निकलना शुरू हो जाएंगे.
A bridge was constructed at Lambagar using an electric pole. Thousands crossed to safety using this bridge, leaving behind the devastation caused by nature. The people stranded at Hemkund Sahib crossed the river through this bridge. The next day, this bridge was washed away by the rising river. ITBP personnel then made improvisation and arranged river crossing and surmounted the obstacle of rising water level, and thus continued to offer succor to people who were becoming despondent. There were many instances where ITBP Jawans, without taking any break for food, worked continuously and carried the old and the weak on their back and helped them to reach safe destinations. The bridge constructed by ITBP at Govind Ghat became Bridge of Hope for thousands of pilgrims stranded in Hemkund Sahib area. It was passage to safety of their home. This rope and ladder bridge was built by ITBP quickly using their special skills. The rescue operation continued even in the bad weather, and in spite of having many other hindrances, as time was very limited to save the people who were suffering in miserable conditions. At some places, even the camps of ITBP were washed away by flood, but it could not dampen the spirits of ITBP Jawans. This bridge, made of trunks, was a big respite for people. There were hundreds of such bridges made by ITBP for the rescue. As in hills, after almost every kilometer, one will find a small river creating a hindrance for the people to climb down. On the helipad made by ITBP, the helicopters landed safely to airlift the people. This helipad was on the side of a river. ITBP made a bridge for the people to cross the rivers so that they could reach the helipad. Not only Uttarakhand, even the people in lower Himalayan region were affected by the natural disaster.
The relief work is still going on. Number of air sorties were materialized, and we have been able to take out 500 people on foot also from Gaurikund to Sontraya. Latest by Sunday afternoon, I think this area should be clear.
ITBP coordinated with the media efficient so that only the correct information reached the people and no rumors could create panic amongst the people.
But perhaps nature had more devastation in store. When it was the turn of rescuers to return home after relentless effort, tragedy struck once again. The Mi-17 helicopter carrying 15 brave Himveers of ITBP, out of which 9 were on deputation with NDRF along with 5 Indian Air Force personnel, crashed, and all the 20 bravehearts attained martyrdom. The nation shall always remain indebted to them.
Each Himveer of the ITBP, whether he is a common soldier or an officer of the highest rank, undergoes the toughest training on land and water, capable of extraordinary performance beyond the call of duty in the harshest conditions known to man. Such training comes as godsend when called upon to perform in war and civilian duties, as in the case of natural disasters. ITBP is multifaceted like a diamond, yet keeping their brilliance hidden. Risking lives is an everyday matter. Jumping in feet first in natural disasters is just one of the life-endangering activities ITBP personnel fearlessly do as part of their duty. This is mainly due to their rigorous physical training, mountaineering skills, and importantly, disaster management training, unique to ITBP. National Institute for Training in Search, Rescue and Disaster Response trains not only ITBP but other paramilitary personnel and police forces too in disaster management techniques with the latest equipment.
ये वो इक्विपमेंट है जो हमने उत्तराखंड के डिजास्टर में आईटीबीपी द्वारा यूज किए गए थे।
रेस्पिरेशन देने के लिए बैगवाल मास्क का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है।
के बाद जिस इलाके के अंदर कंटेमिनेशन फैला हुआ है उस कंटेमिनेशन को दूर की जाती है।
They're also trained to face nuclear, chemical and biological warfare. ITBP offers one of the best trainings in the country in its excellent training centers. Here the ITBP Jawans are receiving training to place a ladder over a flowing river so that in case of any disaster, it can enable the people to cross. They are lifting the ladder using a rope and placing it on the river. Both the ends of the ladders are secured in the stones so that it prevents displacements when people walk on it. Building such bridges is a day-to-day activity of the ITBP Jawans. This training comes in handy for them while constructing similar bridges during the rescue operations. ITBP personnel regularly traverse almost inaccessible areas in the Himalayas, which makes them capable of undertaking such rescue operations, defying the challenges.
ITBP is required to operate at altitudes of up to 18,000 feet, where the temperature drops to as much as 40 degrees below Celsius, and the oxygen is very rare. Taking every step is a challenge in such places.
These places are usually covered by snow throughout the year and experience heavy snowfall and other mountain phenomena such as blizzards, avalanches and landslides. To be battle ready in such places requires extraordinary toughness of body and mind. Therefore, the training in ITBP focuses on special skills such as mountaineering, rock climbing, skiing, whitewater rafting, besides the usual soldierly skills.
The ITBP soldiers are some of the toughest in the world and are adept at any task in the Himalayas.
ITBP also gets training on river rafting in hilly terrain so that in the adverse condition, they can offer relief or start rescue operation. With ultra-modern raft and equipment, ITBP was ever ready to extend a helping hand. This tough training and experience in high Himalayas comes in handy in the rescue operations. ITBP offered medical care to the needy. Here an ITBP Jawan is carrying an injured man who is also unconscious. The Jawan is taking him to the nearest medical facility to save his life. All possible medical facilities were provided to the people. A single stroke of nature turned the lives of the people upside down. Here is a lady lying on an ambulance bed and crying because she spent a traumatic night under open sky as the hotel she was staying in was washed away by the flood. Food packets, medicines and drinking water was provided to countless others while they waited for their turn to get rescued from seemingly inaccessible places surrounded by raging, swirling, life-threatening waters and treacherous landslides. ITBP Jawans vacated their own barracks and offered shelter to the stranded people. Food was served to the people who were spending many hours in worry and uncertainties without food and water. Cricketer Harbhajan Singh was also one of the devotees stranded on the way to Hemkund Sahib.
हम बहुत खुशकिस्मत हैं कि हम इस ITBP के सेंटर में हैं। इन्होंने बहुत मदद की है, बहुत लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया है और पिछले कुछ 1.5 दिन में इन्होंने बहुत लोगों को रेस्क्यू करके ऊपर से नीचे लाए हैं।
He offered his gratitude to ITBP for their heroic acts in the rescue operation.
ITBP ने उत्तराखंड में बहुत ही अच्छा काम किया है और बहुत लोगों को बचाया है।
और यहाँ अगर ये कैंप नहीं खुला रहता तो हम लोग भूखे मर जाते। और आप लोग हमारे लिए भगवान हैं।
Before Uttarakhand, ITBP had conducted search, rescue and relief operations in the calamity caused by earthquake in Sikkim in 2011 and saved many lives. During cloudburst in Leh in 2010, the ITBP conducted rescue and relief operations. ITBP saved thousands of lives and recovered public and private property lost in the flood. The ITBP also helped in reconstruction of Leh city. Standing shoulder to shoulder, ITBP Jawans gave all possible help to the victims and saved the lives of thousands of people from this calamity.
ITBP offered the much needed assistance to the people when they needed it the most. Some people even went to the extent of comparing the ITBP Jawans with the angels of God. Where no man can go, ITBP does and succeeds admirably in its mission to save lives. I, Amitabh Bachchan, along with the entire nation, salute ITBP for the exemplary courage, selfless devotion and heroism they have shown in saving human lives from the grave disaster in Uttarakhand. Jai Hind.
हम दुनिया के सबसे ऊंचे पर्वत पे है तैनात, हम बढ़ते चलते कदमों कदमों सुबह शाम दिन रात, हम करते हैं निगरानी, हम करते हैं निगरानी, हम सच्चे हिंदुस्तानी, हम भारत तिब्बत सीमा के हैं प्रहरी सब पहचाने, हम जैसे सैनिक कहीं नहीं